As social beings, we humans have a need to interact, and we keep thinking in our own mind and we go around circles. So better way to think is writing our thoughts down or typing them on our mobile phone, so that we don't create circles. When we think in our mind, it's like we just thought that and we are thinking that again, to then come into the next line of thinking, and then we repeat it again. But when we write, it's like you thought until this point and now you can move forward from this point to this point. So thinking becomes very orderly. So whenever you have to think something critical, you should always, not think in mind, but consider taking a board or a piece of paper or in your own mobile phone. Writing your thoughts would help you think clearly, and also it helps to let go of our thinking when we feel that, okay, at this point of time, with respect to my emotion and energies, I could think this much. Now the next part, whenever I'll feel a bit peaceful after an activity of walking or whatever brings you some sense of energy or peace, you come back to that thought and it's done this much, and then you do the later part. Sometimes at night we always have things to do and we have to sleep, but we find it very difficult to sleep because there are 10 things in our mind that we have to do the next day. And since a part of our brain is holding on to them so that we remember them tomorrow, a part of our brain is also processing the same and trying to remember it. If you can just write those 10 points down, that tomorrow I have to talk to this person, I have to go to this place, do this differently, you will see that your sleep will become better, because a part of your brain which was trying to keep it memorized would be free from memorizing it because it's on a piece of paper. Now the more significant part that I wish to talk about was, we have to talk. Now people go to therapy, there are a lot of friends that we have, and we always are thinking in our mind about this, that, आज ऐसा हुआ, कल ऐसा होने वाला है, कैसा करना है. We are always planning, creating controls for the future. A beautiful thing that you can do, because to remember God is the essence of our life here. To attain to the love of God is the goal. So if you can remember God while this process of thinking goes on, it is really helpful, because you have to think upon certain things to decide and change your behavior or act in a different way. So we cannot let go of our thinking, but this thinking, we do it alone, we do it with our friends, we do it with a therapist. Writing is a good thing. Now it's like God is present in our hearts as a silent witness, and we don't remember God, or when we remember God through their name, through their roop, and it's a separate activity. So we do it like once a day, twice a day, or we do chant the name of God, but we kind of forget, and then our remembrance reduces. So smaranam, it's known as in the Navda Bhakti. So if we are supposed to remember God and we have a habit of thinking, why not address and think in a manner that we are talking to our God? So Krishna, Shivji, Radharani, Rama, all the gods that you love, Durgaji. So whichever God that you feel your heart is inclined towards. So what I did was, I made a group, I added my mother in that group, then I removed my mother from that group, and I changed the name of that group to Krishna. And another group I created and I changed the name and I named it in a different God's name. So now I text and talk to myself on WhatsApp, in which there is no one else. It's just their profile picture, it's just their name, and I'm like, hello, hi. So I think sometimes with chatting on that WhatsApp group, and it's like I can see that profile picture, I can see the name of Krishna there, and it's like I am talking to them and I'm remembering Krishna in the process. So when you're thinking thoughts in your own mind, try to remember their roop, remember their name, and then start thinking, okay, tomorrow I have to do this, oh Krishna. So actually, Krishna, I don't want any answers from you, I don't want any solutions out of you. This is not me trying to get something out of you. I just feel that I need a friend to talk to. I just felt that I wanted to share this with someone. I just want to think about this, but I don't want to do it alone. I just feel alone. I just feel that I'm incapable to do it alone at times. So right now I need a friend, and instead of calling a friend, I am calling you. So you can chat, you can walk, and you can be like, oh Krishna, tomorrow I have to do this, so I am kind of stressed out about this. So you're also chanting the name, you're remembering God, and the thinking that you have to do, you're doing that. Not begging God for a solution, but remembering God. So if you create this habit, don't become, mad out of schizophrenia, that you are now visualizing them in front of you and you're talking to them and you're showing other people that you're doing this. Don't. Bhakti is meant to be hidden. You don't have to, be so visual that you're considering them that they are sitting in your room and doing. It's like, be very clear, right? They are there, but don't overdo anything, like especially the part of visualizing. So just take their name, talk to them, keep a picture of them, and then talk to them. Visualize them in your own mind and then talk to them. Yes, you can also give them a seat on a chair. First clean it, and then when like you're sitting there and now I'm sharing my thoughts. Just because sometimes when we read mental health issues, we see that sometimes even sadhana becomes chronic. So I'm just like trying to make you cautious about it. So we lack friends, we want to talk to someone. Why not talk to the Lord within and without and above and everywhere? Since God is everywhere, we can talk to them, but without any begging or asking for anything. Just tell the story. You will get solutions sometimes, you will not get solutions sometimes. We wanted to share, so we shared it with God, and in the process of sharing we did a process of remembrance, that is smaranam. And that's what happens by chanting the name of God also. That's what happens that when we do puja also. That's what happens when we do roop dhyan also. So remembering is the essence, as Kripalu Maharaj says. So this is a good thing that we can do, because we are always, something happened, we are like, hello, हाँ ऐसा ऐसा हो गया आज, फिर वो ऐसा उसने ऐसा बोला, and you need to share it with God. And in the process of sharing and not seeking a solution, we become, and we now have a friend, and you'll feel in your own heart that maybe someone's listening. Oh, my solutions are received in a quicker time. Oh, I feel relieved. And speaking it out aloud, we always think in our mind. I want you to speak. Nowadays, we can walk anywhere, and if we are talking, so if I am in this garden, I am talking like, हाँ तो ऐसा हो गया वैसा हो गया, people would be like, there is a Bluetooth headphone in his phone, and I am like, good enough if they think that I am talking to someone. I talk aloud because even the breath changes. When we think in our mind, it is static or it's going at its own pace, but when we speak, the breathing pattern changes. When we speak, we kind of let our expression go better. We get a bit tired also, our body functions differently. So it's a process of relieving yourself without an external assistance of a counselor, therapist, a friend. But it's even more a blessing that you remember God through this. So if you can inculcate this habit, that you can consider God as a friend, mother, father, and you just share your thoughts, feeling in your heart that they are listening, and talking out loud, it will really help you, and it would increase your remembrance of God, which is kind of what we do in bhakti. And if we do that, it's certainly really good, and you'll have a new friend, a very dear friend, who will be there at 3 a.m. in the night, who will be there at 9 a.m. in the morning, who is always there, and you can be centered at their feet and you can talk to them. rather than you call someone and they don't pick up, and it's like, why don't they pick up, and a new problem starts. So alone, okay. With other people, okay. Let's include God in our discussions, because he's already here. He's already a silent witness, listening and seeing it all, having sanctioned it all. If we remember the very person who sanctioned everything, who is watching over us, then it becomes a beautiful thing. Sincere prayers and best wishes.